So, that flimsy little bracket I wasn't keen on. I've had this bracket a while. I built it for one of my other builds. It can be a rear bracket or it can be a side bracket. Some of you have suggested going side mount with this bike. I don't think it would work. It's good for the speed cameras, because it's here, the speed cameras can't see it. But we're not going to be speeding much. And it'd be kind of sitting out there. I don't like that. I like streamline with bikes. I've always said that, and I stand by that. This is a big, bulky piece of metal, heavy. It's going to be bolted up to here using this bracket here, and that will sit flat either on top or underneath. It shouldn't make much difference where. And then the number plate's going to sit off that. So yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with that. I'm going to get some drilling done. I don't mind drilling. There's a hole there from something else in the past. I don't mind drilling a couple of holes because they can be tacked in the future if desperately needed. But if you cut that bar off, which was my original plan, it will, you know, you'd never be able to put it back really. I mean, if you kept it, you could weld it back, but it's a lot of work, you know. So I'll put the camera on. Some of you have been saying recently, or at least a couple of you have said you'd like to see a bit more of the work done. So I've been trying to film a little bit more and speed it up so that, you know, you guys aren't watching too much. The truth is, no one's got an hour to watch my YouTube video of an evening. You know, an hour, and add half an hour to that and you've got a great movie, which I haven't made.
I only watched 5 minutes of it.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Abjab. That's really helpful. The reason I'm using 10 to 20 minute vids is because that's all people watch. I can put up half an hour vid. You guys are watching 5 or 6 minutes, so I'd rather put up a 10-minute vid and you guys watch 5 or 6 minutes, because then you're watching 60% of it, and actually, again, all this algorithm rubbish comes into play. So, let me get drilling. He might visit today. They're coming from far away, you know, Stuart, Laguna, they come from far. So, top bracket's on. Let's line up and mark up.
Yeah, that's
I think I need the seat on. We don't even really need this bracket, do we? We can go straight through to there.
So, I say put the bracket on, Charlie, man.
Why?
You don't
It's not needed. It's extra weight for no reason. All right, mate.
Just crazy what you're doing.
It's open, mate. You're welcome to come in.
You don't want to damage your drilling. I don't know.
It's unnecessary extra weight, though. I think I'll go straight through that. You alright?
Yeah.
What? What?
It looks much better now.
Yeah, it does. Looks like a bike. Hopefully the suspension doesn't touch the wheel.
You should just test it now. Depends who's heavier.
Depends what you've eaten. Yeah, I like it.
You want to test it, Charlie? Jump on it.
I do like it. I think it looks great. It looks spot on. I think that works, Rab Jab. I really think that works. It's a bit high. I might need to bolt it underneath. Yeah, although saying that, yeah, it will still clear the wheel. Yeah, I'm going to bolt it underneath. Let's see if that looks a bit better. There you go, guys. A subtle difference, but it is a difference.
Sit on that Chinese chester.
It'll clear. It'll clear.
You want me to sit on that seat?
There's so much room there, Rab Jab. Yeah, go on. If it can handle you. Oh, it's on the stand. Oh, look at the seat. The seat where it locks in. I need to put some padding under there. Look. Take your weight off a minute. Yeah, sit back a little bit. Yeah, alright, I need to put pad under that. Yeah, nowhere near, mate. Nowhere near.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah. But it shows me there when you sat on it. I need to add, not the back bit, the front bit. I need to add a bit of bolster to take the weight. Oh, put it on the rear stand. I think the suspension's on, it's nearly on its stiffest setting, which is fine for this style bike. Lift the frame, because that's not bolted down. Come on, mate, put your weight on it, stand on it. That's it. There you go. You'd be amazed nowadays how modern bikers can't use a rear stand. It's unbelievable. Right, so what's happened? That looks a bit, is it? It's hard to, the lines, it's very hard to work out all the lines. The seats, forget the seat now, because that's come off, because that's not got its fixings in. They're in there, by the way. So, but the actual lines to the frame, yeah, it looks, I can't tell, it looks spot on. It can probably go a tiny bit, yes, right. I'll need to think about that when I nip it down. When I nip it down, I'm going to be using Loctite to make sure it doesn't vibrate loose. But I am happy with that. Yeah, very happy with that. What was I seeing with Rab Jab on? One moment, I want to check that. It's going to be hard for you to see, but really I need something bolstering on here. But I've got this block here. If I move that forward, that'll bolster it perfectly there. So I need to move that block one length forward. And then on the other side, oh man, you chipped all my stuff and left it. Right, and on the other side, similar. Move that block forward, get it all bolstered up. Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do after I've cleaned up Rab Jab's mess. How cool is that, guys? The original pivot pins are in. There should be a locking clip in the end. I'll get some new ones of them, but that's it. These help bolster the front just by moving them forward. They sit more on here. They'll stop these going onto the battery, and the clip-in works. But the fact that we can pivot it up like that while under there is, I think, is brilliant. In fact, this should be my picture. Let me take this as a picture. And then when you're ready to use it, pop it down, put a bit of pressure on it, and you're clipped and ready to go. Bolstering's much better now. When I sit on it, it's not folding away. So, yeah, I'm pleased. For now, I'm going to do little bits. I'm going to find a black paint pen, I think, or I'm going to buy a new one. I'm going to do little bits of touching up on the black just to stick it, you know, to hide it a little bit more. But it's kind of okay at this stage. I need to find a second one of these screw-on heads for the spark plugs, but I'll be getting some new ones anyway, because I want to use different spark plug leads that I've got already. They actually came off John's Bonnie, but they're for the fat ends, and we haven't got. I need one more screw basically. But look at that. You know what this needs now? It needs the side panels on, so that I can get a nice picture. I mean, ultimately, I will be, coils are going to be changed. I'm going to spray these brackets the same colour I'm spraying these, which is an aluminium colour. And then I'll be wrapping to the top there. This will be sprayed an aluminium cover. I need to figure out if I need a new gasket set or if I'm going to somehow do it on the bike. Not quite sure yet. Ideally I'm going to get shorty cans, not really loud ones, but kind of megaphone style ones. Kind of stuff like that. So where am I? What is next for me? Let me put the throttle back on for now. I should dig in the garage and see if I can find these spark plugs that have a cap on. This cap's fixed. I already tried to take it off. It's a fixed one. It's not a screw off one. That's also a fixed one there. They don't screw off. So let me have a good route around and see if I can find another one, because then I can change the coil leads. Otherwise, when I get some of these plugs, I might actually, no, I can't. It'll be next weekend. D8EA is the plugs, but I need them with the caps. Okay, I'm going to throw the side panels on. We're going to get a couple of pictures in a minute, although let's put the throttle on. So this is very premature, but this is kind of a representation of what the bike's going to look like nearing the end. Add a shorty chrome mudguard to that. Potentially a painted tank, although in my head I still want it to be black. And the painted side panels, they really let it down at this stage. It really looks like an old rough bike with that. Once I've got that done, which will be soonish, next weekend probably, honestly it's going to look so different. And then once we've got the new end cans, it will also make a big difference. Throttle's not on properly. It's not very happy with the fitment. I don't know why, but I'm not really using these bars in the long run, so it won't matter. But side panels are on. And yeah, and currently we have a rear light and a brake light system set up. Someone asked me, do you need to illuminate this? Nope, you don't, because of the age of the bike, so I'm not going to. I don't want to be seen at night, actually, so we'll leave that off. And yeah, I mean, rear foot pegs I've got off. Part of me doesn't want to put them back on. There's not actually a handle for a rear rider. I'd very much consider this to be a single bike, but I've got them, so I won't waste them. They will probably go back on for peace of mind, and so that the new owner can use them if desperately needed. It's not looking bad. I do want to touch up the tank at this stage. I'm going to get a black, touch up just the black, and then of course put the Honda signs back on for now, until I know kind of exactly what we're doing with the paint. I will be getting cones in there, and they should kind of fit just behind here, so you won't really see them, which is great. And I am going to change the coils over when I get some new spark plugs. So this is not bad. This is kind of where we sit at the moment. I've definitely got to spray this housing. It really lets it down. They'd be silly not to. The handlebars will be new. I'm not quite sure what ones yet, but they'll be new. And we're getting there. I mean, I think the rear end was well worth doing today. I think it sits beautifully. I haven't put any Loctite on yet, so that's not, you know, a running, riding, ready bike, but it works. I mean, imagine this bike coming along. You're going to look at it. You are going to look at it. And that's great. Brakes are all working, so very happy. I'm just pulling some bits out of the garage. I just want to get rid of them, so I'm going to be chucking them on eBay for fairly reasonable prices. I normally just find the cheapest and undercut them generally, but I just want to get rid of it. A couple of rear fly panels, the actual throttle body's worth a few pounds, bits and pieces. So I'm just kind of plugging away. Okay, great. I'm very, very, very pleased with that bike. I think if I took pictures of this bike like this to try and sell it, that actually, first of all though, it looks better on picture than it does in reality, which is a shame. But actually, also, it's a 46-year-old bike. and for a 46-year-old bike, it's in pretty great condition.